Dislyte, download now.
What is going on, guys? I wanted to do this video real quickly because honestly this is the new content that they actually added to Dislyte as well, and I wanted to be honest. Like, we got to go with the most important one, which is going to be SHADOWFIRE. SHADOWFIRE is going to be the most important one because it has, in my personal opinion, the more important gear sets that you need to or possibly want to fix. As you can see here, we got the attack set, the speed set, the witchcraft set. This is the HP set, defense set, and then accuracy. I feel like those are the most important ones that most people have. I think the second would be the Shadow Gale, because the Hades set and the counterattack set I feel like are also very popular. And then, oh yeah, Ocean Waves is pretty good. And then Shadow Stream kind of gets the shafty dafty, right? It's all good. So I wanted to go off with this one and explain my best options, what I think you should be doing in this dungeon. And as you can see, I haven't even done it once, but I'm going to show you guys my methodology because there's certain units that I have to build for it, but I kind of wanted to give you guys my thoughts on it and how it would be done. So first and foremost, we're going to go over to the strategy. SHADOWFIRE has unlimited HP, so this has absolutely nothing to do with you actually beating it. So what does this actually mean for us? It means that it's very similar to Summoner's War. If you guys are familiar with the homunculus stuff, it's very similar to the homunculus things when you had to farm it. The homunculus had various different things that you had to do as far as like, multi-attacking or this or that or whatever. And pretty much what I'm trying to say is that there is a specific goal that you're trying to do in order to beat out the boss. You can stun it by doing certain stuff, and then when it's in a stun state, you have to be able to do a lot more DPS to increase your score. The bigger your score, the better stuff that you get. In Summoner's War, you were doing that to create a character pretty much, and here you're just doing it for gear, which kind of sucks, but hey, it is what it is. Now, if you read this, it says the lower the enemy's defense is, the higher the damage, which is you're the enemy at this point. So the lower your defense is, the worse it is. So it kind of makes you want to get high defense characters. It even tells you the damage is shared among targets, which is actually very important. Players can place espers with high defense on the front line to reduce damage taken. The Flame Light Wheel summons 6 Fiery Eyes after SHADOWFIRE casts Burning Dust Storm. Fiery Eyes attack all enemies. Destroy Fiery Eyes as soon as possible and collect more Shadow Flower Petals so that you can stun SHADOWFIRE and get a higher score multiplier. Searing Hurricane ignores all damage mitigation effects and deals a powerful attack to enemies. After casting this ability, SHADOWFIRE will run out of energy and the battle will end. So you're trying to get as much points before that instance happens. Then they show you all the little fun moves and skills here. Falling Flames is like his basic, and it's going to attack all the enemies in the front line, dealing damage one time, lower the HP. That's what they already said. Flame Light Wheels, what he already said. Attacks every enemy's one time. It specifies that because certain stuff is multi-hitting that would trying to change like what you're actually trying to do. Same thing here. Burning Dust Storm, as we saw. At the end of casting, Surviving Fiery Eyes attack all enemies one time and inflict Raging Flames. If a Fiery Eye is destroyed, SHADOWFIRE will be stunned for a short time, which is what you obviously want. Fluttering Wings attack all enemies one time. Searing Hurricane, which is what this thing is, dispel all buffs from the enemies, deal massive damage one time, ignoring all damage mitigation. And then lastly, the Shadow Prayer. SHADOWFIRE is immune to all debuffs. When its enemy does not have any espers on the front line, the enemies in the back line take more damage. Pretty much once your front line dies, you're gonna die. That's all it's pretty much saying. So you pretty much want to do that. Oh, they even have recommended formations. Isn't that cute? I'm not gonna do my run just yet. I'm gonna do my run at the end. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over to the Espers gallery, and we're gonna go over every character that I think personally is kind of good for it. And if you have these characters, then that's great. If you don't have these characters, then that sucks for you. Obviously, the first one up is going to be the girl Zora. She's pretty much made for this content, to be completely honest, because she has her basic attack is an AOE, and her S2 leads into her S1, her S3 leads into her S1. She has a lot of AOE, so she's going to be able to clear those things as much as possible. You kind of get a glimpse of the characters that I had there because I was kind of looking through my account. Can you not sort in this thing? You cannot sort in this. Oh no, you can't sort. This is a problem. This is gonna be a problem then. Oh, I thought you could sort in the Esper gallery, but you can't. All right. Had to bring out ye old notepad again. All good in the hood. Nothing wrong with bringing out the notepad. The next one that I kind of wanted to mention is going to be Ra. Reason why I think Ra is going to be good, even though he's the exact same element, is that he has a AOE that actually can reduce itself on cooldown, which is really nice. As he gains buffs, which I definitely suggest using as much buffs as possible. For each buff, he gains Burning Sun stacks. When he's at max stats, he does a lot of damage. He can even ignore defense, as you can see, and then reduce the cooldown. Like, it's really, really strong. Really, really strong. So I think that, and then he also gives himself an attack buff. So he has really consistent AoEs, and I think that that's really strong. I think that he should be a really strong pick. Another one that I liked is going to be one that no one would ever really have for some reason. Odin Raven does have 2 AoEs, and I think that that's nice. Remember, another thing that I needed to mention is that you can't target. Supposedly, you can't target the other monsters, so you can't pick them off one by one, or else Hercules would have been a really good thing. You could have had him buffed up and just attacking all of them and then whittling them down. So you do need to pick characters that have specific AoEs. I don't know how strong she is, but you know, this said deals 120% of damage. I think that that's pretty good, 4 turns. I definitely think that depending on how long these turns are, I'm going to suggest some other characters a little bit later. Of course, you have Li Ling, classic. He has 1 AoE that does pretty decent damage, but again, he only has 1, so I was kind of like, not too sure about that. And then you have characters like Apollo, who has 2 AoEs, which is really nice. You can't do any debuffs, so you can't stun or anything like that, so there's not going to be anything crazy of that nature. So those are the only 5 stars that I saw that were of the element, of the one of the 2 elements. Obviously, you don't want to be negative element, because if you're going to be missing, that's going to be a nightmare for you. But I thought that, hey, you know what? I think that those characters were pretty good. That at least worth mentioning, right? Ollie, stop it. Get out of here. For the 4 stars, one of your best, and this is actually interesting, is like I said, this is one of your best things to farm. And Mona actually is amazing, right? And she's the character that everyone should have, and there should be no excuses. You can literally max her out. Not only does she have the ability to hit all enemies with 2 skills, she also has a very strong S1 when it's leveled up. So once you actually stun him, you actually should be able to do a lot of damage to the target, single targetly, which is pretty nice. So on a lookout. This one I have to test out, so we'll see in a couple seconds whether or not she works. Now, you can't debuff him, but you can debuff the other ones, right? And the cool thing about the Nether Bloom is that when things die, it procs. So there could be a ton of procs, and it could be a decent amount of damage. I just want to test that out myself, just to be honest. Not really sure if that's going to work out too well, but you know, there's always time. Another good, well, I'll mention her later. Then after that, there's really no other AOE purple or yellow that I saw. And if I missed anything, feel free to leave me a comment and be like, oh, why didn't you mention this character? Like, I don't know. I didn't think about it. I didn't think about it. Even like I thought about Death Guard High, because he has a good S2 that does the speed down, but then he can't speed down the boss. So what the hell is the purpose of that? Let's see. And then I go into the 3 stars, and there's really no options AoE wise for 3 stars that is going to really suit that. Not that I saw anyway. But I think when it comes to the next part, which is going to be like the support-ish kind of characters, and then I'm going to go from 3 up. And I'm going to think that Uncle Chai here, fantastic. He has a way to reduce cooldowns at least twice on his turn, and then, well, pretty much twice on his turn, right? And since a lot of the characters that have AoEs kind of need the AoE skills up, unless it's Zora, I think that you kind of want to have characters like him. He also is yellow, so he's not disadvantageous, so I think that would be pretty good as well. Another one that I wanted to mention, I think, not 3 star. Freya. I think Freya is a really good option. Reason being is, once again, she has a way to, one, she does have an AoE skill. little AoE in there, right? More specifically, what I like is that I gotta check if they can DB AP down. I'm gonna check that in a second. But she has a skill that reduces cooldowns as well, and I think that that's really, really important. Also, it allows that character to get AP as your other allies are taking turns, so I definitely think that she's going to be a really good asset. And you know, she is the $1 character, so I think it was really important to note her as well. If you have her, she's pretty cool, you know. to reduce some damage. The Lotus Mark is a lovely skill, right? Reduces damage taken by 50% and then it goes away, and allows her then to get more turns when they actually all get procced, and she can keep everyone healed off and things of that nature. Outside of that, like, I think that honestly, like, as far as like who you want in your front line, I feel like as long as it's not anyone that is green, I don't know flow or everything. That's why I keep saying the colors. I think whoever you have that can sit in the front line and it can take some hits is perfectly fine. You have to basically do the balance whether or not you want to have more in the front line to survive or more in the back line. More in the back line and less in the front, it means that your account is probably more suited for it. If you don't have the crazy DPS enough to kill everything, then obviously you might want to go a little bit in the front line until you have some time. So let's do some testing. I think it's time to do some testing. Now remember, this is scaled to be endgame, so I can't really go in here with this nonsense that you see here. All right, let's test this out. I just want to see something, honestly. All right, so we got turn 1. His turn is right here. Now, there we go. That's the one thing that I wanted to see, and I'm happy that I was able to see it. So you can AP absorption, which is fantastic. That allows to mean that any of the characters that I mentioned that steal AP, that is all good in the hood. We're just going to do some damage here. And this, I know he can't be debuffed. I'm not stupid. So I'm just kind of waiting until, I might as well do that, right? That will reduce the damage. Elemental boon. As you can see, your backline starts to take some damage. Where are your stupid flies, bro? I'm waiting for your flies. As you can see, we're just hitting something. Or maybe they pop up once I get the next rank or something like that. I think that's how it might work. Look at that Zora damage. She has no runes, by the way. Literally pulled out of the gacha. Okay, please don't kill my people as I'm trying to see some. Okay, Zora died. Okay, so cool. So you can debuff the other ones, which is what I wanted to see. And I wanted to see also how tanky they are. And they look to be pretty tanky. Now here's what I wanted to see as well. So boom, all the nether bloom. I think she should be fine. And remember, you can't target. You see I'm trying to target them? Like, it would be awesome if I can like do a auto chain link here. You can't do it. You can only target big boy in the back. So, and see like that. Those would be like a bunch of netherloom blocks to either kill off each one. I think she'll be fine, but mine is again not built that well. So I killed a couple of them, but now they're all gonna attack me and I'm gonna die because I've left too many of them up, and that's just score multiplier ×2 now in effect. Ow. See, like, now all of them are attacking, so you really want to kill them off. Ow. And he left all the Hoobie Jubies on me. And now he's going Super Saiyan. And I'm dead. Boom, we got some Astral Witch Muju. We got 2 back because they thought that run was super pathetic. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So as you can see, it's a ton of the little fiery dudes. There's a ton of AoE that you're going to need to be able to clear it. You can't target, so you definitely need really strong, consistent AoE for when that is up. And then you could pretty much wait for your cooldowns. So you might not need cooldowns unless he starts spamming it or something like that. So that is kind of it. As you can see, look, I got 40s, 50s in here. Definitely not the strength level that you need to be doing that. But I definitely wanted to see if you can debuff the little guys. If you can debuff the little guys, that's actually pretty good. There we go. This is World. I don't know why. How is people putting Chloe in there? It's very weird. So these people are getting triple S's with Chloe. Like I said, that's a thing. Clara is also obviously pretty good. I think she's a decent one to mention. She has a nice fat AoE heal, gives shields, and you should be fine with that. There goes Mona. There goes the girl that I said as well. I did think about Dahlia because she does give you AP boost. She can boost your AP. She can only hit the guy, but at least she'll be doing damage to the main target. And once he gets stunned, you'll be able to do additional damage at that time too. So I think she's a really good slot, and also she's a farmable character. Same thing you're gonna see here again. And she's obviously pretty good AoE, but her AoE is on a low cooldown. I agree to that. I did think about mentioning her, but I did not. it seems like a lot of people pick Chloe. And you know what? You know why they're picking Chloe? Because they're stunning. And this is another strategy you can go to, by the way. If you're confident with the AoE clear, if you, let's say you think that you're going to be able to clear with Lin Zhao and Mona, right? Then you can actually run a super heavy single target thing to increase your score. That's why they're doing that. It's a very smart technique. If you're very comfortable by stunning the enemy and stuff like that, you can do that. Once I get there, I'll be able to at least show a stun and stuff like that. That's going to be the next video once I build up my units. The next video on this specific dungeon. But that's why you see people running comps like that. And that's also why you see people running her, because she can do an AoE, clear out a bunch of them, and then hit them with these 2 skills that do a ton of damage that are going to be auto-critting. So she's a really good slot. You see this person went all frontline, all good. And you can see that counter is actually not that bad as well. And I think she's a secret OP in there as well, because she's able to sit there and do a ton of damage and have all those stupid procs bounce and kill off and do like a domino effect. So really cool. And like I said, I think you guys should do that. You could definitely do this too. You know, have Hayden there. Oh my god, he probably, no, he does something when allies die, right? Yeah, ally death, he gets 10. But with all the buffs that are going around, he'll be stacked up enough, and then maybe he can tank successfully in the front line. You just need your front line not to die. That's all. There goes Ra, like I said. So all the characters that I said, I didn't look here first. I just thought that, you know, this would just kind of make sense. Sally is a good frontline tank. You know, most of your supports are going to be good frontline tanks as long as they can stay alive. Also, her S3 is going to allow her to stay alive. So let me know what team comps you guys are coming up with for the SHADOWFIRE. And like I said, still think it's the best. And it's cool that you can multi-battle it as well. But still think it's going to be the best option for you guys to get up a team for it, just because of what it allows you to do. It allows you to farm up these little relic things for the most important sets in the game, or at least the pseudo most important sets in the game. Once you do that, you should be fine. And then I think you can then eventually get some of the things for your Hades and your counter sets and your crit sets, your ocean sets. And then I don't know who's coming over here. If you're only coming over here for immunity. I'm just being honest. Most people don't really use the other ones, not that I see, outside of maybe crit damage and then one other one. I don't know. Anyway, that's gonna be it for me. I definitely would love to get above a C, but I have a lot of running. As you guys just saw in the other video, I got a lot of new units and I definitely gotta work them out. But I could always explain something like this, no problem. See you guys in the next video. Peace.